My name is Catherine, and I read 8 books in the month of July, and today I'm going to tell you all about them. So, for background, I read 21 books in the month of June. July was very much about me learning how to be a human again and read, in a way that isn't all-encompassing, which may sound foolish to you, but was very much a concern for me. First, I read How English Works by Anne Curzan. This was just the linguistics textbook that my linguistics class used this summer. Surprisingly interesting for a textbook. Super cool. The linguistics class in general was super interesting. There was a lot of discussion about how English takes from other languages, and I think that's super interesting, especially in the context of now, after we've taken so many words from other languages, now other languages are kind of being anglicized. This is something I discussed in my French class, which was ages ago, so this might not be super accurate or super articulate, but in France, in France, there's l'Académie de something something, and they have a whole board that just does nothing but creates the laws of the French language, and they're furious because of the internet and how the internet is very much an English space, an English-centric space. The French language is really being permeated by English, and it's kind of I wouldn't say tainting the language. Everyone has a very different opinion on this. I personally think it is, I personally think that this is a way of language evolving the same way that English has evolved. Other languages kind of evolve and change. I think as long as we keep in mind the history of the language, it's fine. But I also recognize that I have no right to have an opinion as a native English speaker who lives in America. However, that is just my 2 cents. This textbook really did make me think about those things, which is super fun. I love a good think. Next, I read The Blood of Emmettill by Timothy B. Tyson. This was super great. It made me cry multiple times. Something that I think is very important in a historical book is the ability to at once be super, have your story be based in history, but also have it be a fully constructed narrative that swallows you in instead of it feeling like a textbook. And that's something that Timothy B. Tyson does an amazing job at. I really recommend this book. I actually have chills right now. Highly recommend. Next, I read Thick and Other Essays by Tressie Cottom. This was a super quick essay collection with a lot of emphasis on body image, especially for Black women. I thought it was really well written, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Next, I read The Truth About Keeping Secrets by Savannah Brown. This did not live up to my expectations. I was super excited to read this book because I am a huge fan of Savannah Brown's poetry. I think that her work is literally what inspired me to start writing poetry. So I think I went in with too high of expectations to her debut novel. It wasn't bad. I think it just read a little more juvenile than I anticipated. I was definitely still engaged the whole time. I think I read it in one sitting, but it just wasn't what I expected from it, and I have to say that I might have just expected too much from it. I might have gone in with this idea that it was gonna be frickin' Jane Austen, and I don't think that was fair of me. So I don't think I can give this a rating because I don't think I entered the story with the proper point of view. Next, I read The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. This guys, this book, this is one of my favorite books. It's in my top 5. It is this super cute fluffy romance, which I'm sure most of you have read. It takes place in a publishing house. It is just full of tropes and fluff, and it's super cute, and it makes me feel warm inside, and that is something that I definitely needed this month. 5 out of 5 stars. If you need to pick me up, then go ahead and get this at your local library or use Libby. Next, I read Citizen: An American Lyric by Claudia Rankine. This had some of the most beautiful prose, like, ever. There's specifically this one essay on Serena Williams and, like, Black anger, especially, like, the anger that Black women experience, that, like, shot me in the chest. This is a must read, in my opinion. Then I read Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Sainz. I listened to the audiobook, which was voiced by Lin-Manuel Miranda, which, if you don't know me, I'm kind of a, like, Hamilton stan. So that was great. I don't know how I hadn't read this before. I mean, this was like BookTube a la 2014, I think, and it's 2020 and I just read it. So, you know, that, like, kind of ruins my street cred a little bit, but I just, God, I love feelings, bro. I love emotion. I love, like, friendship, and I love romance, and I love when two people are so different but are also so similar. And this book was just like, check, 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 everything you've ever wanted, everything you've ever needed in one fun package. So good. I mean, I'm sure you've read Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe, because at this point, who hasn't, except for me, like me of 4 weeks ago. But if you haven't, I recommend it. Next, I read The Likeness by Tana French. I read In the Woods by Tana French earlier this year. This is my dear friend's, like, one of her favorite, like, series, and I have to say that I see why. French's, like, writing is just, first of all, like a luxurious fluffy blanket. You, like, just lay in it and you can lay in it forever. But also her characters, this is very much like the Irish version of The Secret History, but also with detective fiction. This is going to be in my top 10 for the year. I have a strong feeling. I did listen to this on audiobook, and I have to say that the Irish accent in the reading did add a little something something. So if you get the opportunity to read it that way, I would read it that way. Finally, I read Her Body and Other Parties by Carmen Maria Machado. This didn't live up to my expectations either. Again, I think I've really got this issue recently of putting things on a pedestal and really expecting a lot of them, and expecting too much and then being disappointed when they don't live up to my unattainable standards. Especially because In the Dream House was so good, I really thought, like, this is Machado's, like, crowning work, I thought. Like, this is the one I've really heard everyone talk about, but it wasn't. I think it might just be that I didn't vibe. I mean, obviously the writing was still spectacular because it's her. Like, her writing is just amazing, but I don't know. It was weird. The best way I can describe it is I read Dead Astronauts by Jeff Vandermeer 2 months ago, maybe. Time doesn't mean anything anymore. And I was able to recognize that the writing was beautiful and really good and, like, technically perfect. But it was also so weird that I was like, my brain doesn't have the energy to wrap itself around this right now. I will say that the first story in this collection, big brain, amazing. So, I mean, if anything, worth the read for that. Yeah. Those were the 8 books that I read in the month of July. I was kind of in it, and I hesitate to say this, reading slump. I don't know, I just was, like, so exhausted after June that I was like, if I look at another word ever again, I'm gonna explode. But obviously I didn't. I'm hoping that August will be better for me, because I really have a lot of books to read before this year's over. Also, like, quick update, this is so random, but I I DNF'd Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and I'm getting rid of the book. I don't know. I think I didn't even really enjoy it that much the first time. I wanted to reread it and see if I had any critical thoughts, but it has been sitting on my like bookshelf for 2 full months. And every time I pick it up, I only can read like 2 pages, and I'm like, and I can't tell if that's a combination of my J.K. Rowling fatigue or the fact that it's not super great to begin with, or the fact that because I don't have the emotional connection with it that I do with the original Harry Potter series, I'm just not able to like vibe with it as well. But I chucked that sucker right out. All right. Well, that is all I have for you today. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.